Good evening, friends. I welcome you to this fifth day of Vigilant Prayer Season 15. Basically, we saw five characteristics, or to say five qualities, from Nehemiah's life for this past 4 days. And today, being the fifth day and last day, we're going to see yet another quality from Nehemiah. He repaired the wall for the safety of the people of Jerusalem. We read in Nehemiah 4:14, "Do not be afraid of them. Remember the Lord, who is great and terrible, and he will fight for your brethren, your sons and your daughters, your wives and your houses." We see Nehemiah as the repairer of the broken wall. Yet, we also see the person who brought people together repairing the broken relationships. If you look at this world is filled with people with broken relationships. We see Nehemiah here, he brought all the people together. And we saw that how he brought everybody and repaired their relationships even. Even the closest families, today's world, are getting separated. People are willing to go to the court of law and ready to get separated without really counting the cost. In Isaiah 58:12, we read, "And they shall be of thee, shall build the old waste places. Thou shalt raise up foundations of many generations, and thou shalt be called the repairer of the breach, the restorer of the paths to dwell in." A person who is really bad in relationship will find hard to come to God even. My heart should break that breaks God's heart. God is always needing people who will stand up for Him, to speak on behalf of Him, to restore broken relationships, to repair those who are hurting. Can I be the one the Lord seeks to find, to build the broken life and restore the broken-hearted through His church, that is you and me? If a heart cares for what God cares for, then my heart should also break that breaks God's heart. Looking at the broken relationships and hurting people, we all have to really raise up our voices, or rather our hearts, towards God. They're all around us. They are on our next door, among our relatives, among our friends, among our neighbors, inside churches, everywhere. At this juncture, may we just look to God. May we ask God to give us eyes, to open our spiritual eyes and look at those people with compassion. If we are not able to go and talk to those hurting people, at least we can bring them to God in our prayers. We will start praying for them, pleading for them, and standing in the gap. In Isaiah 61:4, we read, "They shall build the ancient ruins, repairing cities long ago destroyed, reviving them, though they have lain these many generations." We are here to raise up the fallen people who had been there for many generations, breaking their yoke of bondage. It's time to rise up, to love the Lord and love God's people, to have a prayerful heart, breaking up the traditionals in our own prayer life, to face the opposition by coming together and having a lifestyle that fears God, and then repairing the broken hearts and hurting relationships. Am I a breaker or a builder of broken relationships? Let us ask God at this juncture, am I the person who brings people together, or am I a person who gets people apart? So let's ask God to stand in the gap and plead for those people who are hurting, so that we will be the person who will bridge these people together. May God use us. Let's sit down and ask God, help us to be one who will build those relationships and be a person who can build bridges. Thank you.